show on Reconcilers Radio. My name is Amanda, the host for the show. And today I have a very, very special guest here with me. Woo!
Hey.
Thank you for joining me. Hello, CEO.
Thank you for having me, Amanda.
How are you doing?
Me, I'm blessed.
Lovely. So CEO is a financial educator. And he does so much more than that. He also leads and trains people on how to manage their finances. And would you be able to introduce yourself a bit more for us, who you are and what you do?
Okay, so my name is CEO Money Mike, and I'm a financial educator. So essentially that means that I help people to better manage their money and also to create more wealth, so also make more money.
Lovely. Thank you so much for joining us. So the topic for today is how to manage our finances and increase our income. And it's such an interesting topic. And I believe CEO is the best person to talk to us about this. It's such a struggle in this country. You know, sometimes you just get paid and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm saving £200 a month. But I'm like, how long are you going to save? And when are you going to buy the next house? Or when are you going to, you know, do something with that money? Because it feels like you're saving forever. Yeah, so we really need you here. I'm sure a lot of people have so much questions and, you know, so much to contribute in relation to this topic. So how did you first of all, tell us a bit about yourself. How did you get involved into this?
Okay. So, you know, that's a question which I do sometimes get asked when on radio or when doing events. And I personally, I don't like actually telling people about myself. Now, there's a reason for that. And that's because wherever I go somewhere, wherever I speak, it's not about me, it's always about the people who are listening. So today is more about the viewers as opposed to myself. So I know that there's been a number of events that I've gone to and they've gone to give their story, but me personally, I'm just there for the content. It's like, look, tell me what I need to know and let me bounce, as opposed to going into your story. But at the same time, I appreciate that people, they like to hear people's story and so forth.
Yeah, and also how you got into it, because I believe that there's always a starting point.
Definitely.
And sometimes it's like, okay, you must have got to a point in life where you're like, okay, what am I doing? Or maybe why am I called? Why have I been brought here? You know, what's my purpose? Sorry, and you know, why am I interested in this? There must be something.
So I'm going to share three things with you about myself, to keep it short. So the first thing, as I've said, I'm a financial educator. Okay. That's the first thing, and with that, I've spent not hundreds but thousands of hours in understanding how it is that people can better manage their money and also to make more money. And I've worked with a lot of people to do that as well. So I'm really here today to share that with you guys. That's the first thing about myself. I'm a financial educator. The second thing is that with everything that I do, I want to expand the kingdom. Yeah. So that's another thing which is very important to myself.
You say the kingdom, we explain to people
so the kingdom,
everybody listening might be able to understand.
Okay, so I'm talking about God's kingdom. So that's something which is very important to me. And so with everything that I do, how is it that I align it with God's will? So that's another big thing about myself. And the third thing is that I'm not normal.
What do you mean you're not normal?
I'm not normal. So for me personally, like normal is boring. So I think that as the show goes on, people come to realize that this guy maybe he's not a little correct or something. It's like I'm not normal. I don't. But then, normal.
Do you think you are going to be normal if you're gonna have to if you're having to walk in your purpose or do the things that you feel like God has led you to do? You're gonna be different.
Do you know what it is with entrepreneurs? It is said that they have to be a little bit crazy in a positive way. They can't be normal, because the thing with normal is that if you're normal,
you do things everybody's way.
Exactly. And then it's not that I'm trying to stand out or anything, but it's one of those things that do make you stand out. But what it is I be myself, and in being myself, it means that I'm not doing things that the same way that everybody else does it. Yeah. Wow. There's a problem sometimes with doing things the same way that everybody else does it, because
what makes you different?
What makes me different?
Yeah.
So as we go through the show,
I'll find out more about you.
Find out.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Lovely. That's really, really good. But obviously, it would be nice to find out how you got into what you're doing. That's possibly that would be really nice to be able to know about that as well.
Okay. So as a financial educator, the way that I got into it was because I'm very good at maths. So my maths abilities are up there. And so from a young age, my mum said, look, do you know what, you can be a merchant banker, you can be an accountant. And so that really got the idea of going into finance or something to do with money and figures in my mind. So that's for me where it started with my mathematical abilities. And then I went to university where I studied accounting and finance. But what happened was, at university, I had people coming to me asking me to help them with their businesses.
Wow.
And then in working with them on their businesses, I came to realize that there were problems with their personal finances. So for me, at that point, I actually realized that, do you know what, I can help people with their businesses and their personal finances.
Wow.
So that's where it started for me.
So things started just to come together in terms of maybe what your interest is, as well as you just found out your ability, should I say?
Yeah.
Or what people were asking for help from. So some people go to them for counselling, they have any problems. And they go relationship problems, they're like, hold on, I'm not a counsellor, why are people coming? And sometimes probably because that's something that an innate, should I say, gift that you have, that God has placed inside of you.
And later on we'll speak a little bit about business, but it's one of the things that if someone does want to set up a business, you could ask yourself, usually what is it that people come to you for? Because that itself might be a sign as to what you can do as a business. So just like you mentioned counselling, so if someone constantly goes to someone for counselling and advice, maybe they can actually have a successful business in that area. They can monetize it.
Wow, and that's so amazing. Thank you for all those who've joined us, and I believe on Mike's page. Yes, so thank you Mary Olawale for joining us, Brantu, and thank you Ben Marshall also for joining us. So this show is every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and just call in, in regards to any questions that you have today about managing your finances. If you're struggling to manage your finances, I know that is something that I've struggled with, and it doesn't matter from what type of job, from getting paid really good job, doing overtime. I could be doing overtime, because I work part-time I work in a hospital. Overtime from time to time, and still it's like, hold on, I just worked an extra £600 this month. I'm saving, but hold on, it just feels like the money's going in nowhere. And that's something I struggle with. I'm not going to lie. I'm sure there's a lot of people struggling with it. So if you have any questions regarding the show, any questions regarding finances, how to manage it, any issues that you're facing, or you'd like to contribute to the show, you can call or text this number 078 37299 499. That's 078 37299 499. You can also send a WhatsApp message to this number. Or alternatively, if you're on Facebook, you can send a message via Mike's page, which is, I think, CEO Money Mike. And then on my Facebook page, which is Mandy Favored Ofori. Or you can also go on Reconcilers page, which is Reconcilers Radio. Alternatively, you have Twitter as well, and it's Reconcilers RDO. So please send in all your messages there. So it looks like we have a caller on the line already. Okay, hello, thank you for tuning in to Keeping It Real show on Reconcilers Radio. May I know who's speaking?
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
Hello?
Hello, please, who's speaking?
Yeah, George speaking.
George?
Yeah.
Hello, please, George, where are you calling from? Thank you for tuning in to Keeping It Real show on Reconcilers Radio.
Yeah, from Wolfenstone.
So thank you so much for tuning in, George. Have you got any questions you would like to ask regarding the show?
Yeah, I just wanted to just find out how Michael got into what he's doing right now.
Okay, so how Michael got into what he's doing. Yeah. Okay, lovely. That's something actually we're going to talk about. Just a question I asked that he was going to, talk more about.
We can go into a little bit more detail.
More detail, yeah. But we can go into a bit more detail. And would you like to answer it now?
Yeah, of course, definitely. So thank you very much for the call, George. So the way that I got into it is that, from studying accounting and finance at university and having people approach me to help them with their businesses, I actually saw that they needed help with their personal finances, so I started advising them in that area as well. And then I came out of university and I continued to do that part-time, but then I went to work at PwC, where I was doing audit. So I done audit at PwC for a time, and then I came out of that to go back into business to help people with their personal finances and their businesses. And then I went into secondary school maths teaching. Again, as I said before, I'm a numbers guy, so I done that for a time, and then I thought, do you know what? I just want to go forward with the business. So then I went back into business, and I've now been doing this full time for coming up to 2 years. So I've been doing it part time now for I started 6 years ago. I've been doing it for full time now for 2 years, and yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it. From people approaching me to it becoming a real interest of mine, and then now it's not necessarily why is it that I started. The question is, why is it that I still do it? Now, the reason why I still do it is because I know my calling from God, and I know that God has called me to be a financial educator. So I do it because it's my calling.
Yeah, so obviously because you've been able to seek the Lord and be able to find out the area He's called you, area of purpose. It's good, because I believe when we all come to know God or come to Christ and we receive the Holy Spirit, He will direct us, and a lot of times we're completely away from what He's called us to do, and that is so interesting. That's something I've come to find out myself as well. Do you feel like He answered your question, or do you have any more questions to ask?
No, I thought that you did.
You feel like He answered your question? Oh, thank you so much for tuning in. So continue to tune in, and I'm sure if you have any questions as well, you can always call back. And I'm sure we will unravel more as the show goes along. So thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for calling in as well. God bless you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, you.
Lovely. Okay. So thank you so much for calling. I had a caller on the line. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much for answering that. So you answered that really well. Yeah. Because obviously sometimes it's hard, knowing that, okay, God has called me to do something, but do I even have any experience to start that thing? And for you, it's like you already had that interest from childhood, or should I say, you had that interest already. Yeah. For some people, they're doing things that they've never done before, possibly. Maybe they had a hint, but later on, they found out that what God has called them to do. So yeah, so thank you all for those who tuned in. Thank you, Greg Langola, for tuning in earlier. Is it Greg? Thank you so much. And Asha Rasta, George Kilaze, Ray, Ian Domingo, Tyson, Tyson as well for tuning in. And thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, okay, that was a long explanation, but thank you so much for that.
Yep.
And so guys, if you still have any questions that you would like to ask, or any contributions you'd like to make towards the show, the number to call is 07837299499. That's 07837299499. You can send a WhatsApp message to this number as well, or text this number. Send in any questions you have for Mike, as well as any questions you have about managing your money. And so we'll be able to answer all those questions. So going back to Mike, obviously you have a bit of PowerPoint that you're going through on here. But so why do you think there's such a struggle on managing money? Where's the issue from? Is it, obviously some people might say it's spiritual, like you can pray in tongues. I've prayed in that tongue. I've prayed, I'm like, whoever's attacking my money, Lord, by fire, all sort of prayers. You can be like checking your bank account, is there any fraud going on, who's coming to my bank account, and checking how much you're buying. I ain't bought much shoes this month. I ain't even changed my hairstyle much this month. What's happening here? So can you tell us a bit more about what's going on? Is it our character? Is it how we're managing ourselves? What is the problem?
Okay, so the problem, I'll say, is definitely different for each person. Now, for a lot of people, it will always come back to the mindset. Now, the mindset is something which a lot of people, they almost neglect, and they don't actually go to it to change it. So essentially, you've either got a mindset for success or you've got a mindset for failure. So a lot of people, their mind is actually set wrong. Now, when we start talking about mindset, you need to have the right money, the right wealth mindset. And this is where we start talking about your money blueprint. Now, when we talk about your money blueprint, everyone has a set of money files in their head. And some people actually need to change these money files. These money files, they dictate what it is that we think about money, and how it is that we behave with money as well.
Wow.
So it's is very much ingrained into our thinking, because when we look at it, it's our thoughts that lead to our actions, and it's our actions that lead to a particular result.
So would you say we've not been taught enough or prepared enough on how to use money?
Definitely. So it comes back to when we were young, there are certain things that we learn about money through our experiences, through what our parents told us, through what our friends told us, through what the school told us, through what religious education, so through what the media has told us. So we've been fed a number of things which shape our beliefs around money.
So what would you say about somebody who's grown up in an environment where there's money around? For I'm not saying like my family was very rich or anything, but I know that obviously you see little coppers and you start stealing them one by one, and obviously, I put my hand up, I did that with my grandma, God forgive me, but does that sort of affect how you see money as well, if you've grown up in such an environment, or whether you're poor, growing up a poor, family?
So that itself would, like, everything has a meaning behind it. So that itself will kind of show that you are someone who takes the opportunity to almost take when it's there. That's where it is. If I can be honest, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could be a good thing, because for other people, maybe there are actually opportunities out there and they don't take it. So it does vary from person to person. But like, for example, like some people are told from a very young age, and so like this is where we start talking about like the biblical side of things, that people say, look, the money is the root of all evil.
Yeah. Now
that's something which a lot of people have heard about before, and which a lot of people
love of money.
Exactly. So even at the first problem is what you just said, is that it's not money that is the root of all evil, it's the love of money that is the root. So people have actually received the wrong message and they live off the wrong message. So because some people think money is the root of all evil, they, if anything, subconsciously they would avoid money. Or if they get money, they will actually spend it as quick as they can, because for them having money is wrong. Now, as I'm saying this, it might sound crazy, but on a very subconscious level, this is how people think. The mind is very powerful, and so a lot of people, they can't retain or grow wealth for this reason. And I know this because through the different people that I've spoken to and that I've heard, is come down to that level where they would actually admit that.
Wow.
Some people, they don't even know it, so they're listening to it and they're thinking that's not me, but it can easily be them.
Wow.
But the mindset is very important, and then that itself leads to people having certain financial habits. So when we talk about habits, we've got good habits and we've got bad habits. A lot of people have bad financial habits, and those habits are really affecting you from becoming financially successful. So there was an individual that I worked with, his name's called Dean Williams, and he was helping me on the business. Now, before helping me on the business itself, he said, before we work on your business, we're going to work on you. Because with a lot of people, it's not necessarily their job or their situation or anything that's the problem. It's them. There's something with them that's not working. So with a lot of people that are trying to get to the next level, they need to ask themselves, look, is it something in my mind that's actually stopping me from getting to that next level?
Wow.
So mindset is pretty much the starting point where you may come to find that the issues actually lie with people.
Wow. I think that's so amazing. That's so true, because it's like whatever we put our mind to, that's what I believe we can achieve. So it's a man thinking, so is he. And that's what it says in the Bible, and I think it's so true. Wherever we are right now is a result of decisions that we've made, and those decisions, obviously, we have to ponder on and think on. It's like, okay, what can I study? Okay, this is what I'm going to study. Where do I want to be in the next, 5 years? Okay, I want to be working in this, or I want to be living in this country. And you ponder on it, and then you start to work out and make movements on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. So what a lot of people have to do, and it's something that I'd say more than 95% of people won't do in their lifetime, they need to recondition their minds for wealth.
Wow.
That's what they have to do. And this is what we call wealth conditioning. Now,
what about those who recondition their mind?
Yeah.
But they're still aiming wealth.
So
they're thinking wealthy, but they haven't got, for example, that environment around them, or they don't have that job.
So then with that, then it's of course it's something else, but something else can be done. So for a lot of people, it's actually uncovering why is it that they're not getting to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it is the actual education. So they need to learn certain things which they need to apply.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said, for everyone, it's different. But I know that a lot of people, their minds actually aren't set for wealth. I speak to certain people and I will show them an opportunity for them to make money, and they're like, and then they don't do it. So there's actually a problem there.
Wow.
So that one, it comes down to they actually don't want it that bad.
Wow.
So, but for everyone's different.
Wow.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Okay, so listeners, we're going to go on a music break and do some Facebook Live as well. If you have any music requests that you have for us, please send any music requests that you have for us. The number to text and request to, or to WhatsApp it, or even call us. The number is 078-372-99499. That's 078-372-99499. Or any questions you have regarding this show as well, please send your text to this number. Or alternatively, on Facebook, Reconcilers page is Reconcilers Radio. That's Reconcilers Radio. Or Mike's page, see your Money Mike. On my own page, Mandy Favourite Ofori. So please send in any questions that you have there as well, and we'll be able to answer.
What song are you going to give them?
So, okay, we're going to go on a music break. I'm first going to play one song, and then I'll go on to some song. His face.
I submitted some songs. My own personal song.
I know your personal song. I'm in trouble here. So we're just going to play one of my songs and then go on to your songs.
Okay, make sure it's a good song.
It's a good song. So this song is Dietrich Haddon, He's Able. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
Okay, at least you're going to know a new song today. You're going to dance. Okay, so please enjoy He's Able by Dietrich Haddon.
He's able.
Yeah, let me put this on. So if you have any questions on Facebook Live, there's like you tag me, but I'm not on here.
Yeah. But yeah, what I was also going to say that, because obviously I mentioned that you need to recondition your mind, and a lot of people, they won't know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are other things that you can do, and that would be, for example, surrounding yourself with people who actually have the right money, the right wealth mindset, because you naturally start picking things up from them. Secondly, when we start talking about ways that you feed your mind with, you have to make sure that you are reading and watching and learning from the right sources. Also, you can do affirmations. So you can have like daily declarations, as we call it, where you read out certain things on a daily basis, and when you start feeding that to your mind, slowly you are reconditioning your mind.
Wow.
So,
I remember my mum saying to me at one point, you need to read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh yeah.
I didn't really like readers. I looked at that book and said,
Have you read it yet?
no.
Okay, so you need to read that book.
Yeah, I know.
There is a 50% chance that if you read that book, you quit your job.
Wow.
There are a lot of people who quit their job
Read that book.
after reading that book, and if they don't, then they start finding ways to actually get out of their job. The book is really powerful.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
You need to
you
read
sit
that
down
book.
and read it.
Yeah.
I think there was another one.
Not that a job is bad.
So what other books would you recommend as well?
So I'll say a good starting point is Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon.
There's one man, it's Japanese man as well. What's his name?
Richard Kiyosaki. No, I don't think he's Japanese.
Where's he from?
He's from Hawaii or something.
Hawaii.
Something like that.
So we're on a music break at the moment. Please send in any requests that you have. Any song requests that you have via Facebook.
So, you know my people, if you say song request, we'll be dabbing.
Really?
Yeah, we'll be dabbing all over the place. And
Yeah, so I'm going to get some songs, so I'm in trouble.
and some Al-Qaeda as well.
Huh?
Al-Qaeda.
You requested Al-Qaeda?
Yeah, we do some Al-Qaeda as well.
So we're just on a music break. Please send in any music requests that you have as well. No, this video.
Just a little bit.
Wait, okay, is that me? Lovely. So please send in any music requests or anything that you have. Oh, I love this song. I'm sure it's on here. Let me just look it. You don't know the song? Don't give up 'Cause he won't give up on you.
I like the
He's
rhythm.
able.
I like the rhythm.
He's able.
Talk to man like you.
He's able. So when we go back and talk more about how to change your mindset,
Oh, covered it. I thought I covered it. Well, I covered it
how?
for these people.
Yeah, we look around for one second.
Then,
They
okay.
can't just be books.
Cool. Okay. Hey. So we're going to a little bit more derail. We're going to a little bit more derail.
You can also, any questions
join.
you can ask me,
Okay. Pardon?
no questions been asking me.
I don't think so. Yeah.
He's able. 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 He's able.
He's able. He's able. He's able. He's able.
He's able. He's able. He's able. He's able. He's able. He's able.
So someone of the songs I was trying to find that shorter version.
Oh, it's funny.
So some of them are Tin Tin.
Tintin.
Some of them are Tin Tin Ewa.
Don't give up on God, 'cause He won't give up on you. Don't give up on God. Trust me, many people want to give up on God. We've got a question on
Question.
here. We've got a question. Should have used this for that.
Just a moment, we talked about
This
one
is
sound.
That's right.
Say one
We've got a
sound.
question.
There is a kingdom sound.
Hallelujah.
Kingdom sound. Everybody say that. There is a
This is a
kingdom
song.
sound.
If none of you know this
Say
song,
it again. There is a kingdom sound.
There's
You have
a
to get to
kingdom
know.
sound.
I want you to understand this, that there is
this song is the one.
always a sound.
What savings account do you use would recommend that have the highest interest rate? So don't answer it now. Not answer
Okay.
it
There's always
Okay.
a sound.
now. No. So get that right.
Whenever you will find deliverance, wherever you will
So
find
what is this way?
healing, wherever you
We've been
find
reading any
What?
questions.
a move of
Yeah, so
God,
we're reading any
it's
questions that
always
people have done.
associated.
Oh, you don't want to mind those people.
I want us to take just maybe
They're
30
fine.
seconds and we're gonna sing this song. We're gonna raise it as an offering to the Lord. But I want us to take
So play a
about
bit of this song,
maybe
not the
just
whole
30
thing.
seconds.
It's 8 minutes.
Brother, I just want you to minister on that guitar.
So please send in any questions if you're on Facebook Live that you have regarding this, topic for today. Any, about savings or, any debts, questions about debts and how you deal with them.
Yeah.
Please send in any questions that you have. And any song requests that you have as well, please send me a message via Facebook. I've got some questions coming in through my phone as well, which I would read out. So please send any questions. You want to say something?
Do you want to sing for them? I think you started and your voice sounds pretty beautiful.
Thank you. I'm shy.
You're shy?
Yes,
Oh.
shy.
On the spot.
Death could not hold you down. You are the reason, King, seated in majesty. You are the reason, King.
It's a takeover.
Yay! Hallelujah. You have won the victory. Hallelujah.
I'm happy for you.
Thank
You've got
you.
such a wonderful voice.
Oh, thank you.
God, my voice is coming. I wasn't born with such a voice. I'm sure I can train it.
Anyway, you guys send in any questions that you have, and there's another question as well from Andrew from London as well. And he says, how much would you recommend a person save that earns between 1,500 to 2,000 that has about £700 to £800 worth of expenses? So once at the latest one, not now.
Okay.
Because when we go live. So I'll read it again.
Okay, cool.
So please continue to send in your questions regarding the show. If you have any questions, please send it across. And you'll be able to read all the questions that you have. Seated in majesty.
If you don't know this song,
You are the
you need to find it on YouTube and download it. We'll find it. I don't know if it's on iTunes, I'm sure it is. It's called You Have Won the Victory.
You are the reason, King,
Gospel Baptist Church.
seated in majesty. You are the reason. So we're going back on the show in a second. We've gone on a long enough music break. And okay, so we should go back now. And then we'll be able to read the questions as well that anybody has. Hello, thank you for tuning in. This is the Keeping It Real show on Reconcilers Radio. My name is Amanda, the host for the show. Hope you're having a blessed and wonderful evening so far. So today I am joined by a special man of God. His name is CEO Money Mike. Hello.
Yes.
Hello CEO, how are you doing?
Very well, very blessed, feeling highly favored.
Yay, thank you so much for joining us. So on today's show we're discussing how to manage our finances and how to increase our income. I think it's such a big issue, especially in London. You look at your payslip, you're like, how much tax are they taking off, my money? I'm like, hold on, I've worked all these hours. And then how much am I even able to save? And they're like, okay, there's a mortgage, I can get a mortgage fine, but I need to put some money down. And how long am I gonna save to even start that mortgage? Hello. So we've got CEO Money Mac here to tell us and to educate us on tips on how to save money and also how to create wealth on the side. So yes, before the break we were just speaking about mindset, how our mindset will definitely affect our attitude towards money.
Yep.
And so would you be able to tell us a bit more? How do we change this mindset? I know that obviously when we were offline we spoke about it, but once we're online here, people would like to know, how do we change this mindset of,
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So before I go into that, I'm actually going to touch on two areas which I actually cover. Now, we've got what we call financial education, and that's where we are giving you the knowledge that you need to go in the right direction. So you know how to get to where you want to get to with the least amount of time, money, and effort. But after financial education, there's something which is very important that you need, and that's what we call financial application. So as you'll be able to see up here, it says financial application for financial success. So there is something that's actually more important than financial education, and it's the actual applying. So what we'll come to find is that there are a lot of people who know what they need to do, but they're not doing it. So the issue doesn't lie with them not knowing how to get to the next level. It's just that they're not doing what they need to do to get to the next level. So I would say that everyone needs to definitely be prioritizing the financial application. Now, with that said, one of the things that I need to say right now is that some people actually need to leave the show.
Some people need to do what?
Leave the show.
Need to leave the show.
Yeah, some people need to leave the... Now, there's a reason why I'm saying this.
So people need to leave the show.
Some people, not everyone. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because, personally, I respect other people's time. And I wouldn't want to waste anybody's time. Now, I know that if people are here just to listen and not to take action, they are wasting their time.
So they should leave.
They should leave. They should
go.
There are other things that they can do better with their time. They can go pray. They can go spend time with their family. They can do other things that will be more productive. But for those who are staying, for those who are listening, it's all about application. Because, as I said before, it's your thoughts that lead to your action, and it's your actions that lead to a result. And we are more focused on a result. We don't want you to be in the same position 6 months down the line, 12 months down the line. So action is very important. So as we go forward, there's certain things that you're going to need to, for example, write down so that you can act upon it later on. So this is what I'm saying, that if you're going to stay on the show as a listener, as a viewer, you need to make sure that you got pen and paper.
Pen and paper.
Pen and paper in front of you.
Pen and paper.
Yeah.
In front of you.
If you can't find pen and paper, then open up your phone, open up your notes.
Wow.
Yeah. If you've got a laptop, do it on a laptop. But whatever it is, do not rely on your memory. Your memory will not always serve you. Time to time, you forget things.
Memory is very quick.
Exactly. Goldfish. So you need to make sure that you are writing certain things down, and then you're going to act upon it. Yeah. So that's the first thing that I need to say before I really get into the application side of things. So before we was talking about the mindset.
Yes.
And now what it is we want to recondition your mind. We want to give you a mindset for financial success. Now, there are a few ways in which you can do this. Oh wow, you've got paper.
Don't worry, this is not to write.
I can't tell you to leave the show, I need you here.
Don't worry, I don't want to leave the show, so I want to write everything you're saying down.
Yes, okay, cool. Amazing. So the first thing is who you surround yourself around. Now, they say that you are the average of the 5 people that you are closest to. So, if you surround yourself with 5 poor people, chances are you're going to be poor. Now, if you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, chances are that you're going to learn things from them and that you're going to get motivated enough to also get to that level. So who you surround yourself with is very important. That's the first thing. So I'll say one of your first action point is to actually review who is that's around you. And I'm not saying ditch certain people, because it's very important that with the people that you surround yourself around, you got people who are higher than you, who are ahead of you. You got people on your level, and you got people below you. It's important because it's not just about you. You've got to also bring people up as well. But you've got to learn from people who can take you up. Exactly. But I'll say review the people who it is that you are close to. The second thing is
review. Yeah. So if they're obviously not taking care of their money, they're poor.
Yeah.
You get rid of them.
Well, it's not that you get rid of them, but you need to start bringing people into your network who you can learn certain things off.
Wow.
Because that's the thing, I get people who come to me every single week to say, look, I've got this opportunity, I've got that opportunity, because I'm a big networker, I've got opportunities left, right, centre. A lot of people tell me that they don't get opportunities, but then who's it that you're actually surrounding yourself with?
Wow.
So your environment is very, very important. That's the first thing. And then the second thing, I was talking about, what is it that you're actually putting in your head? Some things are actually dangerous, and you find that they're not conducive to you actually building wealth. So you need to make sure that you are reading certain books, that you are watching certain videos, that you, for example, we've got the financial education platform. So online on the Wealth Etiquette website, you can access a lot of financial education. So that is one place where you can learn on certain things to take you forward. And that's definitely a part of the wealth conditioning process. And then another thing that was mentioned before is affirmations. And it's something that I've seen even being done in other businesses, where they will have, like, they might have like a sheet of paper, and it's got a list of statements which you would read out on a daily basis, because as you read it out, it will slowly become your reality.
And I think it's so true. Actually, you know, just before I go on advertisement break, obviously I don't like to stop
again,
but it's an advertisement break for just like 1 minute. But basically, it's like just to end it and go on the break. Actually, I had a friend who was in uni, and he said to me, he kept writing. He only had it written on his wall and printed out that he's going to work in JP Morgan and as a financial whatever. And he wrote it down before university. Towards the end of university, and kept looking at it and reading it over and over again. Guess what? He got a job there when he finished. And he was speaking that over to himself and praying over whatever he said and wherever he worked. And that's what exactly happened. So that just came to my mind right now. And that is so real. It's like, what are you reflecting on? What are you thinking on? It's like you keep looking at this goal of where you want to be. And it's like working towards it, praying towards it. And preparing yourself towards it. And eventually you get there. So we're going to go, on that note, we're going to go on a advertising break. Just 1 minute. And when we come back, we'll continue on the affirmation side.
Wow. The same thing happened to me. There was one company, it's like the number one company for like accounting, auditing. I went as far as buying a university jumper and having it embroidered.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining us again. So Keeping It Real Show on Reconcilers Radio. So just before the break, the advertisement break, Mike was just speaking about affirmations. So carry on.
Oh, yeah. So affirmation. So for example, you might have a statement there. For example, I am a money magnet. Now, it might sound silly, but when you read that to yourself every single day, slowly what you will come to realize is
you become a money magnet.
Exactly, you become one because you're speaking it into existence.
Wow.
So that's just an example. Another one, if someone doesn't feel that they are a good presenter, then they would have one which will say, I am a good presenter. So you could be reading it or you could write it down. Write down on the whole page. And what you find is that over time you will naturally just become one. It's just one of those things that it's just weird, but it happens. But this is you speaking it and you're writing it and so forth into existence.
Wow.
But that's the affirmation
positive
side.
Affirmations.
Yeah.
Whether it would be in your bedroom or whether it be you speaking it to yourself. And I think it's to do with everything as well, actually.
Yeah.
Whether we're speaking to ourselves, like this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to work. Even if you don't end up there, you might end up around that field or that area.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
So it's very powerful, and you won't know its true power until you actually do it, and you actually do it properly.
Okay, lovely. And then also we had a question from Andrew, who has a show, actually a radio show as well, who's a radio presenter on a show called Genesis Show on Safari Radio, and that's from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. every Sunday. And he says, what savings account do you use or would recommend that have the highest interest rates?
Okay. So, I'm not sure whether to actually share this right now, but what I would say is that at the moment, Nationwide have a 5%. So it's not necessarily, these days the banks actually mix up savings accounts and current accounts, but you can use it for the same purpose. Now Nationwide have a 5% account, it's called the Flex Direct, and no other bank is going to give you 5%. Is that simple.
5% interest.
5% interest, yeah. So the balance is up to £2,500. So with that, the maximum that you can make is up to £125 in the year. Now we've got saving and we've got investing. Now what you want to be doing is that when we start talking about saving, and something that I'm going to cover later on, you want to save and have what we call an emergency fund, but you also got to save up for other things, whether it's that house, car, and so forth. But the key thing that you want to be doing, which a lot of people aren't doing, is investing. Because with savings, the rate you'll find is always so low that inflation will eat at your money so fast that to the point that it's not worth it.
No point saving.
Yeah, it's not worth it at all. So investing is the key thing. Because when you invest, of course, yes, there is risk. And what I say is that you want to invest, but you want to manage the risk. So there are certain things out there that is just not right for you. There are other things out there that are right for you. But again, there are a lot of opportunities that are out there. But you want to be an investor and not a saver. But you save for the sake of having liquidity there, just having money there for emergencies and so forth.
Wow.
But Nationwide, I'll definitely say it has the 5% Flex Direct, and they've got a saver, which is a regular saver, which is also 5% as well.
Wow. So that's it. The Nationwide is a great account to open a savings account, and it's got better interest as well. In terms of investment, how would you say we go about it?
Okay, so with investment, you know what? That's something I'm going to cover.
Oh, you'll cover it later. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll leave that till later on. And then next question from Andrew is, how much would you recommend a person save that earns between £1,500 to £2,000 a month, that has about £700 to £800 worth of expenses?
Okay. So there is something called the world's #1 money management account system, and this is a system which I need to have, Andrew you need to have, Amanda you need to have, and everybody needs to have in their finances. So again, it's called the world's #1 money management system. Now that itself is going to help you to save, but not only that, but for those people who they feel like they get money, they don't know where it's going.
How do you get about this?
What?
The world's
#1 money management system.
Yes.
What about it? What is it?
Yes.
I'm coming on to it. Yeah. So, do you know what? This is, do you know what? Everyone needs to write down. So, everyone that's right now on the show, I know you've got your pen and your paper in front of you. You need to write down.
My paper is empty, but I'm going to start writing.
You need to write down at the top the world's #1 money management system. Because I'm going to take you through it right now.
Wow. The
world's #1 money management system. And this is going to be something for you to refer to. It's also on the financial education platform, and the platform goes into a lot more detail into it, but I'm going to give you the mains to it right now. Now, what it is when a lot of people, they earn money, we have to look at how is it that they are allocating it. So the world's #1 money management system is an income allocation system for saving, investing, giving, and spending.
Okay.
So your money needs to be going into different places. And this is what the system itself ensures. So a lot of people, what happens is they earn money, and as soon as they get money, they start paying off certain bills, and go out and so forth. And then whatever's left over, they go to save it. Now the problem with that is you find that very little, if anything, is left over, or nothing is left over, or you've overspent. So in that case, your expenses has exceeded your income. And this system, which is also known as the 8-account money allocation system, combats that problem. So this is what you need to do. As soon as you get paid, your money needs to go into 8 different accounts. Now, the best thing is actually to open up with your
8 different accounts. So that's the
8 different accounts. Yeah. So the first account is what we call your debt account. Your debt account. Now, this is just money going to pay off for certain debts.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, yes, they want to invest.
So this is within your bank account?
Yeah. So say, for example, someone earns £2,000. Some of that money, if the person have what we call bad debts, so we've got good debt and we've got bad debt. Good debt you don't necessarily need to get rid of, because good debt you use it to make more money. So a lot of people think that debt is bad. Debt isn't bad.
Yeah.
It's more how you use the debt, and it's what are the terms around the debt as well. So for your bad debt, and this is debt which is very costly, you need to pay that off as quick as possible. Because if you are being charged, for example, a credit card, which is 24% a year, someone might be looking out for an investment that might be paying that might pay out like 10% or 20% a year. But that debt is actually costing you more money than the investment will actually make you. So certain debts are
it's
actually
drawing more money out of you than over time. You're going to just be paying.
Exactly. So it doesn't make sense. So there are certain debts. So this is where we start talking about return on investment. So you need to look at your investments and how much money you're actually making from them in terms of percentages, and then look at your debts, and then look at the percentage on it as well. So if an investment is giving you 30% return, and then a debt is, for example, 5%, okay, that's fine. That debt is fine to have. But a lot of people, they've got credit cards, or they go to pay their loan companies and so forth, and the interest that they are charged, they cannot get elsewhere in terms of an investment.
Wow.
So that's where you're actually losing money.
If you say investment, tell us more about, obviously, what things that people can invest in.
Yeah. Okay.
Or-
Again, we're going to come to that. But a lot of people, their problem isn't that they need to make more money. Their problem is the way that they're managing their money.
Yeah, and I think it's so true.
That's what it is. So first, we're actually covering the how is it that you better manage your money before making more money. Because a lot of people, to be honest, if you are earning, for example, £2,000 a month, you're actually in a position to create and build wealth. But when you're creating, you're in a position to actually build wealth.
Wow.
But the question is, what are you actually doing with that money? And that's what this system is there for.
Yeah.
So your first one is your debt account. Your second account is your emergency fund account. Now, the emergency fund account is something which a lot of people don't have, and it's a simple concept. Having money aside for a rainy day. That's what it is. Because what happens is, God forbid anything happens, and we live in a world of uncertainty and things do happen. You don't want to have to turn to the bank or to go into your overdraft or to take out a loan or to go to a payday loan company or to have to use a interest-bearing credit card, or you don't even want to have to turn to friends and family. So you need to have an emergency fund there. So you turn to that in the case of an emergency. And that itself can easily save you hundreds, if not thousands of pounds every single year. Because I work with people and their finances, I see how not having an emergency fund costs them a lot of money.
Wow.
So it's very important that you have an emergency fund. Now, how large should your emergency fund be? This is 3 to 6 months of expenses. So say, for example, you lost your job, you know you can go for 3 months.
Exactly. Whilst you look for a new job.
Whilst you look for a new job, and you don't have to depend on anyone or any company. You don't have to borrow. You don't have to incur all of these charges. So it's very important that you have an emergency fund. The third account is what we call the give account. Now, some people won't be the give account first, but the give account is, for us as Christians, we tithe. Yeah. So, of course, money has to go into that. Yeah. And, of course, when you give, you receive. So it's very important for us to have that account as well. The fourth account...
Sometimes, I'm not going to lie, especially with Christians, obviously, sometimes the amount of money that you're tithing is much more than how much you're saving. But you have to obviously trust God that, God is a God that will provide and, He said that He will bless us. He said if you give and it shall be given back unto us. Good measure pressed down, shaking together. Yeah. So it's like He will open more doors for us. That's what I truly believe. Because there's a lot of times where my tax, I'm not going to lie, there's been more than my saving. My mom is like, oh, hold on.
You need
how
a
much
system.
tax are you paying? And, compared to how much you're saving. But I'm like, okay, God, I know that you're going to do even greater than how much I'm sowing into your kingdom. Yeah.
Before we continue, let me just show you, man, the sheet. Yeah, your sheet should not look like that. Look, if your sheet looks like that, there is like I don't even know. Look at the. I don't even know what that is. Is that your hand? Is that your hand? If your sheet looks like that, there is a big problem. You need to be taking notes. Take note.
Yeah, take notes.
So you need to write down. The first account is your debt account.
Okay.
The second account is your emergency fund account. The third account is your give account. The fourth account is what we call your financial freedom account. So this is also known as your retirement account. Now, most people will not be able to retire. Now, the reason for that is because they won't have enough money when it comes to retirement.
Okay.
They'll look at their money and it's not enough for them to keep going. So with that, those people will actually be hoping that their life runs out before their money does.
Wow.
Because their money is short.
And that's so important, because just imagine your grandchildren and your children, how are they going to survive? If you've been the one who's been the bread, winner over the house and taking care of everybody, and you've left nothing behind. Some people even leave their children debts to pay. And that's scary.
This is when we start talking about like estate planning. And, it definitely crosses over to different areas. So you definitely need to make sure that you're putting money aside for your retirement.
Yeah.
It's very important.
So you said the debt account, financial freedom was the other one?
Yeah, give account.
Give account, yes.
And your emergency fund account.
Emergency fund account.
Yeah.
Wow.
But your financial freedom account is just so that you are putting money aside. So it's basically like a pension. A pension is a part of your financial freedom account. Now, whether you just want to have a pension or not is up to you. Personally, I say have a diversified portfolio. But that is something that is very deep and will be for another day. But have your financial freedom account. Then the next account is your education account. Now this account is very important because you
how do you stay, organize all these accounts? Because there's a lot of accounts.
Okay. So the way that will work is that with your bank account, you have your main current account, but you open up several savings accounts, which you can do very easy. It takes about 15 minutes maximum. The way that we've got online banking these days, they allow you to just open up savings accounts very, very easy.
Please send in your questions as well. The number to call is 078 37299 You can call or text this number, and you can also send a WhatsApp message to this number as well. We'd love to hear from you. Any questions that you have as well, please send the questions over. I know that there was a question from Blessing, which I believe we'll read straight after the music break. And yes, also we're on Facebook Live at the moment on CEO Money Mike's page. I CEO Money Mike. And also my page, Mandy Favored Ofori, where I've shared the video. Also on Reconcilers page, Reconcilers Radio. And also on Twitter, you can send a message, Reconcilers RDO. So send any questions that you have regarding, obviously, all these different types of accounts. You've never heard about them, want to find out more, please send in your questions. So please send in all your questions. I'll obviously read out more of your questions, hopefully after the break. We want to, play a bit of music as well. I believe we've got a question from Anita as well. Thank you so much, Anita, for that question. I'll read out the question. It's good to ask questions. So yes, we're going to go on a music break. Obviously, we don't want to just keep talking and talking.
Halfway through.
Yes, halfway through. Well, yeah. So we're going to go on a music break, and hopefully just 5 minutes music break exactly. And the song I'll be playing is Adonai, Etiquette Group Castro, featuring Castro, and you obviously selected that song. And I know
he wants to play that song.
He wants to dance. I know he wants to dance.
Sweet.
Lovely. So please enjoy this tune. Etiquette Group featuring Castro, Adonai.
And then when we come back, I will finish off the other accounts which you need to have in your finances.
Hey, to collection. Hey. Hey.
How can you do that?
I don't know what to do now. Hey, you have to watch this properly. Hey. Yeah, hey. Na 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 baby, I can't never go. Stand on my own house, swap before you let you do. Don't stand. Hey, hallelujah. It's too funny.
Alright, Castro.
Castro is missing.
He's missing.
We will still play his song.
Yeah, see Mama Waka. They don't understand.
So we're just on a music break. Please send any questions that you have. Be able to read out all your questions that you have very shortly. Send in any questions that you have regarding the show. Thank you for all those who send questions. Continue to send in your questions.
I should take off the blazer. If I take off the blazer, there's only two.
Hey!
I'm joking. It's not coming out. Not today.
It's a Ghanaian tune. Because this guy is Ghanaian.
Ghanaian. GH.
Are you full Ghanaian?
More than 4, 1.5. I am 1.5 Ghanaian. Ghana just runs through my veins, bones,
okay,
hair, anything, you name it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So please send in your questions across. The number to call is 078-372-99499. We're just on a music break at the moment, and we're just playing Etiquette featuring Castro, Adonai. Hey. What is it? 22 seconds remaining.
Hey. I don't know, maybe they kept it.
Really?
Yeah, maybe after I start new ones. Maybe. You know what? I'm gonna go on Facebook and I'm gonna do some invites.
There's what?
I'm gonna invite some people.
Can you not invite
We'll
him?
get more questions. Look how far the camera is. You have to stretch. I can do it. Look. No, yeah.
Oh, you can do it there, yeah. Clever. Baba Godi, Baba Godi.
Baba Godi, Baba Godi. Don't lose that. How do I? You know how I invite people? How do I?
Let me show you.
On this one. Because this is. Hey, the way that they do it, Mimpet, you have to do one by one.
It's long, isn't it? What's happening on you? Okay, so that song is finished. Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Keeping It Real Sean Reek and Silas Radio. My name is Amanda, the host for the show, and I am joined today by a very special guest. Hello, CEO Money Mike.
Very special. Thank you. I feel special.
Thank you. You are special. You're God's child. You're special.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today. And our topic for today, obviously, is managing our money. And yeah, basically managing our money. Thank you so much for all those who tuned in. So we've got a few questions, which I believe I need to get off my phone in order to read those questions. So if you are on Instagram Live, I'm so sorry I have to go off my Instagram just to read the questions that have been sent across. So I'll hopefully be able to join you again shortly. Thank you for all those who've joined me so far. And so when I finish reading the questions, I will come back. Okay. So please send in any questions that you still have or you still may have, and we'll be able to answer those questions.
I'll invite some people that I don't want to invite because I'm doing this quick.
Lovely. So we're going to go on
Oh dear.
to read some more questions which have been sent across in regards to today's show. And we've got a question from Blessing. And Blessing, thank you so much, Blessing Theophilus Israel for sending this question. So she says, thanks Amanda. My question to CEO is, how do we get started with saving and investing when we are living from paycheck to paycheck?
Okay. Fantastic question.
Mm-hmm.
And that itself is to be covered straight after the world's #1 money management system.
You're not answering that question now?
No, because that's
It's connected.
after.
So
Yeah.
we're definitely going to remember that question.
Because the first thing, you have to understand the system,
Mm-hmm.
and then that part usually comes after.
Okay.
I don't have any money to go into my Give account. I don't have any money to go into my financial freedom account.
Okay.
How is it that I reduce my expenses or some sort? How is it that I get more money? So that actually comes after.
Lovely. Okay, so we'll try and see if this question relates to what we're doing now
Yep.
as well, and then we'll go on to the next stage, which is what you want to talk about.
A great question.
And I have another question, and a question from Blessing. So this is Blessing from London as well. It's a different Blessing.
Oh, different Blessing.
So thank you so much, Blessing. A good
Blessings
friend
in
of
abundance.
mine. Says, is the Help to Buy bonus account worth it?
Okay.
Is the help to buy bonus account worth it?
So the answer is it very much depends on on what it is that you're trying to achieve. So it's not worth it for everybody, but there's nothing out there that's for everyone. So it very much comes back to your circumstances and your financial goals. Now, providing that I'm on the same page as you, this is the one where they essentially pay 25% on top of what you put in, and that itself is a lot of money. So in that sense, yes, it is worth it. But some people may want to, because I think with the Help to Buy, it's definitely the housing one.
Yeah.
So some people may want a property that falls outside of the criteria, so then it won't be as worthwhile for them. But yeah, it's definitely worthwhile because you can take your money out as well. So worst case, it just works out as a savings account.
So for those who don't know what the Help to Buy is, what exactly is it?
So it's basically the government have introduced this scheme where you can put money into a particular account and they will top it up. So they will pay like a certain fixed percentage on top, which I believe is 25%. Yeah, and that itself will help to essentially increase the amount of money that's going towards your first property.
Wow, okay. Lovely. So thank you so much for that question. Blessing. So definitely it's worth it to, sign up to that.
It's worth it in general, but it really depends on your personal goals because it's not for everyone.
So what does that depend on?
So if someone, for example, because there are certain time limits, so it comes down to when is it that you actually want to purchase. Secondly, it will come down to what type of home do you want and how much is it going to cost. So there are certain details in it, and you have to just be happy with that.
Okay.
So that's what it is. But me personally, I help people, if anything, to make more money through business. So and this goes for everyone else who is a financial educator or advisor. We know things about everything, but I don't specialize in Help to Buys.
Help to Buys, okay.
Yeah.
So you go more into finance and how to manage.
Yeah, and how to make more money through business as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I can appreciate that some people, they want to make money through property. I'll just put my hands up and I'll say, look, I'm not the right person. I can refer you to someone who can actually help you to make money through property.
Okay.
But I help people to make money through business.
Okay. Also, we've got a question from Anita. Thank you so much, Anita, for this question. She said, is he advised to open all these accounts with the same bank? So you know all the type of account they were saying? The debt account, the financial freedom, the give account, emergency, education.
Yeah.
Do you know?
So I actually done a video on this, and of course an element of bias will definitely come into it. So I say that, me personally, I like Lloyd's. I've got accounts with HSBC, Halifax. I've been with Barclays. I've got Nationwide. I recently had that.
What is it about Lloyd's?
So with Lloyd's, it's just the interface and the ease of sending money to people.
I think it's very true.
As well with some of them you need a card reader,
none of that.
Card, I don't have time to be like, I might be out.
You might
I need to send money
reader
to someone, and it's like I don't have the card reader. Then I have to go home. Now I have to find the card reader. I find it. Then I have to put it in, do this. Personally, I value my time, so I don't have the time to be doing all of that.
Yeah.
So I just need simple, easy, convenient banking, which Lloyd's allows me to have. So as well with other benefits with Lloyd's, I personally, I'm a Lloyd's fan. But I would say that because of Nationwide actually have that interest account, I would say let your emergency fund be with Nationwide because of the interest. But then you need to have another account, which is your main account. And so, that might be any of the banks. Personally, I say Lloyd's. And you will create a number of savings accounts which you put money into, and then as and when you need it, you will essentially take that money. So that there is a process.
So the debt account, the financial freedom, should they all be under Lloyds?
Yeah. But the thing is, for example, with your financial freedom account, let's say for example you put like £200 into it.
Okay.
Chances are is that when you start essentially going through this whole changing your mindset and so forth, you're going to start coming across opportunities to invest. So when the money you put into that account, within a small amount of time, it's going to come out of that account and go into some sort of investment, because you need to make sure that your money is working for you. But one of the main reasons why you need to have these several accounts is because it reminds you that you've actually got the system itself working for you. If you try to have one account and have the system, it doesn't work. For a lot of people. For some people, I can imagine it will work, but for the majority of people, it won't work. So far we've got the debt account, financial freedom account, the give account, the emergency fund account, and the education account. These are 5 accounts. There are 3 left. Yeah. But what I'll say with the education account is that you need to constantly make sure that you are increasing your knowledge and improving your skills and your expertise in your area of work, so that you can.
Okay.
What is it? Music break.
Okay, so we're just going on a quick
music break.
Advertisement break. No, not a music break.
Ad break.
And when we come back in just a minute, which is more or less now.
Yeah. What's that ad about?
Be able to join us.
What's the ad about? I can possibly promote it.
Oh, sorry. So the ad is about the program and also the radio station, how people can support the station, and our website reconcilersradio.net. You can find out ways in which support us. This is a listener support broadcast, so really supported as a result of your help and your support and you tuning in. So if you're tuning in, you'll be able to find out ways in which to support us. Okay, so back to what you were talking about. Yeah.
So you find that there are some people who earn the same amount of money on an ongoing basis. Like they'll be in the same position 5 years down the line, practically earning the same amount. And there is a reason for that. It's because they haven't become more valuable. So your employer or your clients, they only find you so valuable to actually give you a certain amount of money. So if your employer is saying, look, I'm going to pay you £25,000 a year, that's them saying, look, you're actually not worth more than £25,000 a year. If you try to negotiate with them to say, look, pay me £40,000, they might say, okay, well, like, there's the door. Because you're actually not worth that. So you have to find ways to increase your value, and you do that through the education account. So it's very important. That account is also important. After the education account, we've got the long-term savings account. So I appreciate that people want to save up for holidays, that people want to save up for a car, people want to save up for a house and so forth. So you need to make sure that you're putting money aside for such financial goals. So that's your long-term savings account. And then we've got your play account. Now for some people, this is their favorite account. Now your play account is... So your play account is money that you put aside to actually enjoy yourself, to have fun. So it's all great putting your money into all of these accounts, but you need to put money aside so that you can go out and do things.
So all these different accounts, would you say one account is sensible to put it under? If you feel like you have to keep an eye on this account and that account.
Do you know what? At the beginning, when one does it, you'll come to find that, it's a bit too much. But that's because it's the first time that you're doing it. But you get used to it. And this is where we start talking about, when it comes to financial management, you should actually be spending 30 minutes a day managing your finances. We've got what we call simple financial management, and we've got superior financial management. Now, simple financial management, you're only spending 1 day a month to manage your finances. And that's on finance day, the last day of the month.
So you just put a day aside to manage your finances.
That's simple financial management. Superior financial management is where you are spending 30 minutes a day managing your finances.
So which one would you say?
Superior.
So 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes a day.
Not at least, I'll say 30 minutes. Cap it to 30 minutes.
30 minutes. We should be able to sit down and
Sit
calculate
down.
how much you've used that day or what.
So there are a number of things that you'll be doing in that 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got like different financial statements. We've got tracking your actual finances.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be increasing your financial IQ. So you can, for example, like watch videos and do other things in that time as well. But the whole point is that with that time, you are using it to review what's been happening in your finances, to evaluate where you are, to learn and to plan for where you're going. Now, if you look at wealthy people and how much time wealthy people put into managing their finances and managing their investments, it's completely different to someone who's in poverty.
Wow.
It's different if you look at it. And you will learn this stuff as you learn that the way that wealthy people manage and keep their eyes on their finances and so forth is completely different. So I'm basically telling you some of these things for a reason. It's because there is ways to behave for wealth and there is ways to behave to stay in poverty. That's what it is. So you need to keep your eye on your finances through managing it.
Okay.
But this stuff will actually soon become a habit and become second nature.
Wow. So if you have any questions, please continue to send them across. Any questions that you have regarding the show, please send them across. The number to call is 078 372 499. That's 078 372 499. Okay, if you have any messages as well, please send in any messages that you have for the show. Okay, so going on to the world's, management?
Yep, there's one more account left.
Okay. One more account.
So one more account. The last account is called the necessity account. Okay. So you've got bills to pay.
Hey, how many accounts are there?
So there are 8 accounts.
8 accounts, okay.
Do you know, there is, when we talk about simple financial management, you can apply rules called the 10-10-10-70 rule. So 10% you give, 10% you save, 10% is for your financial freedom, your retirement account, and the other 70% you spend as you please. So that's on the education account. You just spend it. That is a very more simple system, but this is simple financial management. But you got to ask yourself, do you want simple or superior results? That's what it is. If you want your finance to be more balanced and so forth, you need to have superior. But you can make do with simple. So the last account is a necessity account. You got bills to pay, your rent, petrol, transportation, food, and so forth, utility bills, phone contracts. You use your necessity account to pay for those things. Now, I've gone through the different accounts with you, but I didn't go through with you the amounts. So your debt account and your emergency fund account is a priority. So you need to pay off the bad debts as soon as possible, and you need to build up your emergency fund. But after that, your give account, okay, look, as Christians, tithing 10%. So you want to be giving 10%. After your give account is your financial freedom account. You want it to be a minimum of 10%. The next one is, what do we have here? Your education account. That one, it doesn't have to be 10% because some people actually receive free training. Yeah, but you need to make sure that there's money going into that. Then we've got your play account. That one should be 10%. We've also got your what other ones are? We've got
the debt account.
Debt account. So you haven't been writing them all down.
I've been listening.
But whatever it is you've got your debt account, your emergency fund account, then it goes 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 50. So that makes it very much a lot more easier to remember. So you shouldn't be spending more than 50% on necessities.
Wow.
That's what it is. And after we're going to go into, look, how is it that you cut costs, how is it that you actually make this system work. But those are the different accounts. As I said, the online platform goes into like more detail, and so you actually understand how it can.
So what do you mean online platform?
So online platform, so it's on the website, so wealthetiquette.com.
Wealthetiquette.com.
Yeah, that itself is a financial hub. So there is a lot of financial knowledge on that platform. The platform does cost money. Now, for those who are on the show, if you want, I can give you a discount code so that you don't have to pay the full £30 a month. But on that platform, basically, there are certain things I'm saying right now which you will struggle to find elsewhere. I've paid thousands of pounds to access some of this knowledge. So if you want to access it yourself, you're also going to have to make such investments. I've made those investments and I put on the platform for you.
Oh,
it's that
wow.
simple.
That's amazing. We have a message from Kelv, a German, who says, I learned a bit listening to this.
Okay.
Thanks, you.
Learn a bit. Okay, we're gonna get you learning more. A bit is a very good start. So we've got those different accounts which you need to have in your finances. Now, what I'll say on the whole expenses, because it is something which has come up a couple of times.
Exactly. Well, if you're earning 2,000 or 1,500 a month, and you feel like you are spending 700, 800 pound a month, how can you possibly be saving? Or how much can you really save?
So if you are earning that amount of money and you're spending that amount, you're earning 1,500 to 2,000, but you're spending about 800. To me, the question is, what's happening with that remaining 700 pounds?
Sometimes you can't even calculate. You're like, what is going on?
So to me, what it sounds like is that there is savings potential there and investment potential as well. But I think the problem for a lot of people is that they might be earning like 1,500 and they're spending 1,500. Now, with that, they need to first do what we call the 3 curves.
They need to do what?
The 3 curves. Okay, the 3 curves. Okay, I'm going on to
the 3 curves.
Okay, so the first thing is they need to actually understand what's happening in their finances, which means tracking what's happening in your finances. So you need to be writing down all of your expenses, and I know it's something which a lot of people
you need to go onto your internet banking and literally look at everything that's coming out.
Go onto your internet banking. So this is your from your current account, but also credit cards as well, because a lot of people spend on a credit card. But then you also have to jot down any purchases that you make with cash. You need to understand where is your money going. So you need to basically track your expenses. That's the first thing. Now, when you track your expenses, you need to essentially divide it up into your survival expenses, which are your necessary expenses, and your non-survival expenses, which are your non-necessary expenses. Then that will show you your actual savings potential. A lot of people, they have expenses which are not essential. So there's
things that you're buying, don't even need.
Yeah. So for example, today, so I came from the office, and I know that in the office we've got free coffee and free tea. We don't have hot chocolate, which is a little unfortunate. But we've got free coffee and free tea. Now I know that there are people out there who are buying coffee and tea from outside and then bringing it in. You could have saved that money. And I know that
today I've got some tea from the,
Yeah.
And then I borrowed some egg cup as well.
Yeah.
From the shop.
I'm not saying don't buy so you purchased tea?
I didn't purchase no tea.
Oh, okay.
I got the tea from the staff room.
Okay.
Went to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
I asked them how much is it to buy a cup because I don't want to use a cup in the staff room.
Yeah.
They gave me a free cup. They said they don't really give it for free. Give me a stick and some sugar.
Yeah. Okay, great. Other people would have just been like, you know, I'm so lazy, I'm just going to buy it. So
no, they don't even make it. It doesn't taste good anyway when they make it. So no.
So, but for some people, I'm not saying don't go to Costa and all of these places, but just understand the impact that it's having on your finances.
Okay.
But obviously, coffee is just one thing. But for everyone has what we call the leak factor. Now, there is a saying, and that saying is that keep your eye on the little expenses, for a small leak can sink a great ship. Yeah.
Wow.
So keep your eye on the little expenses, because a small leak can sink a great ship.
So what are these little expenses? Could it just be somebody, you know?
Yeah, it's
for me. For a while, I think it was Haribo's.
Haribo's, okay.
Yeah, I just kept buying them like 20p. I just like them. Buying
so yeah,
sorry, I'm not a child. I know.
So that might not be. No, you are. Look, they're sweet. She's got. I'm sure you've got a drawer stashed full of sweets.
No.
You probably spend about £5 on sweets every day.
No, I don't. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Okay, but everyone has a leak factor. There is something that you are spending your money on a repetitive basis that is not necessary. So, like for some people, it might be food, like takeaways. For other people, it might be going out. So it might be alcohol. It could be.
For other people, it might be. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, it might be what?
No, I don't want to buy something. Go on.
Oh, yeah. But everyone has something. but you need to identify it. And the only way you can identify it is by tracking your expenses, and then identifying what that is. And most people will be actually shocked when they actually do it. And this is what we call your leak factor. Now, when you actually do this exercise, you need to ask yourself, and this is going back onto the 3 curves, where can you cut costs? Where is it that you can, so the curves is cut costs, cut completely, and it's, what is that last one? The last one always gets me.
So cut costs,
So cut costs, cut completely.
Cut completely.
Yeah.
Okay.
And cut quantity.
I was gonna say finally, but cut.
Hey, the cost, because it's that cut quantity. That doesn't make sense, but
no, sorry,
it doesn't. But we put it the cur anyway,
okay.
And then it's cut completely.
Completely.
So it's cut because it all starts with a cur. That's right. Cost, quantity, quantity, and completely. Completely. Yeah. So these are 3 curves. So you need to ask yourself, when we start talking about cut costs, with what you've got, how is it they can get for cheaper? Yeah, with what you're buying. The cut quantity is maybe you are buying it like once a day or once a week. How is it that you can take it down to, for example, like 2 times a month? So that's quite the quantity. And then the last one is quite completely. Maybe there are certain things that you just don't need at all. You just cut out completely. So when you go through this process, you can easily cut down costs. But sometimes what you need is and this is what I actually say, get someone else, actually share it, show somebody, and ask them where do they think that you can actually cut costs, because they'll see things that you can't see.
You get somebody who you're accountable to.
Yeah, accountability is very powerful.
You know, who obviously wants to help you save money, and who's actually also saving money. Because some people will tell you to go and buy KFC weekly.
Yeah. So maybe there's something
like, yeah, let's go and chill, let's go and eat.
So KFC might be the thing there.
Might be chicken wings.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. So
never know.
That exercise is very powerful. Do the 3 curves on your finances. Actually show someone, and they will be able to pick up things that you didn't even see. Yeah. Now, another thing that people are going to need in this process is self-discipline.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is where a lot of people are going to go wrong. Self-discipline. A lot of people, they don't have it. Yeah. And this is where I say initially, so my name is CEO Money Mac. Initially, when I took on the name CEO, it's not because of business or anything. It's because I am the CEO of my life. Yeah. I make decisions that are right for myself, not what is right for other people. So especially for young people. So a lot of you young people, there's a lot of social pressures. Obviously, me, I'm in my 40s. So
what? When did you turn 40? You've not even
so
passed 30.
So this doesn't necessarily apply to.
Don't. It's not them beard, you know.
So
don't get twisted.
So a lot of you young people, you've got all of these social pressures. Yeah, and it's different for everyone. So like it's not even just young people, to be honest. A lot. It's also all the people. I remember like last week, I had a meeting with some of my partners, and everyone went to go and order coffee. I was on my 3rd coffee that day. I didn't want any more coffee. But, so I actually just said, look, do you know what tap water? So for me, a lot of people, they actually would have been like, they would have actually ordered a coffee just to fit in. I don't need that sort of pressure.
I think a lot of times we do that. It's
a lot of people, you do things to actually fit in.
Yeah.
And if you're having to do that, then you're with the wrong people.
Wow, you have to be yourself.
Yeah. So that's just an example. Like a lot of other people, the self-discipline, it might be like if they go out. Like I know, like a lot of young people, they like go out clubs, whatever. Then they feel that's necessary to
and I think there's
buy
a lot of
expensive
pressure,
drinks,
especially for young people, because I feel like there's so much to catch up with. Okay, for especially young girls, like this makeup line doesn't do the work, and then this hair, and then next minute you've just spent so much. And that's an advice that obviously my parents are giving me. Like mom's like, all these shoes that she bought that are in the box, she doesn't use them.
All those shoes,
and she's like, don't spend money.
Too much pressure.
And so much money paying attention on. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So you have to become a CEO of your life and not bow down to these pressures is very, very important. And even that I see in I don't know. I just thought, let me type. What is that the Bible says about?
Just put in there. I was even about to say something that.
And I found in the second book of Timothy that said, "For God gave us a spirit,
not of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind."
Yeah, sound mind. But depending on the version, self-control.
Wow.
Yeah, self-control. So we can actually have that self-control, but at the moment you're choosing not to have it.
We have to practice it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But it always feels like there's always an area of our life which we're not, and I think money is one of the biggest thing. It's like some people, it's either they earn too much or they have so much that money controls them. Or some people, they can't actually control the money. So some people, money is controlling them, and some people can't actually control.
Yeah.
Control the money. They always need.
The
some people have so much.
The system will help you. This system is very powerful.
Wow.
A lot of money problems that you've got, this system will just get rid of it.
So we're going to go on a music break just for a few minutes. Obviously, we've got about 11 minutes to the end of the show, and then we just go through a few of the things. I'm sure Money Mike will be able to join us in the future.
So what I'll do is when we come back, I'm going to just power through some stuff because I know some people want to know how to make more money.
Yeah. Lovely. So we just go on this quick break, and we've got William McDowell, I Give Myself Away. So we'll just play that shortly. Just a few minutes.
Okay, let me take off this blazer.
We'll get back to my sweet.
The next part's going to be fiery. Let me say that now.
Okay.
It's going to be fiery because... See, this song is very cool. I'm still fully surrendering and giving myself to God.
Amen.
And I thank Blessing. So Blessing is someone who I work with. Blessing is a spiritual life coach. So she helps people to come to realize and walk their God-given purpose. And she actually sent me a surrender prayer. And it's one that helps me to each day surrender my life to God. So it's very powerful.
Even though we're talking about money here, God comes first. God comes first, and money has to come underneath God.
Sorry, I forgot to leave the address.
You can play that for a minute and go back.
Give it away. Shirt's looking a little creased. But it's alright.
It's cool, man.
Okay.
How do you tell who's live?
What?
How do you tell who's live?
Who's that? Hey, but until they taking notes, I like that.
We should have read the questions.
Is there a way that for us to
Oh my God, I don't know.
the way for they're like, oh, questions, put your questions through, and then
I'm not letting you speak much. Really, you've been for ages.
She's not letting you speak much. Oh, Grace, you're funny. Don't worry, the next part is gonna be.
Man, sorry, I didn't say this.
Oh my God. That's that. I'm sure Steve will be able to join us again in the future.
Hey, the next part, yeah, I'm gonna have to fire. It's gonna be like guns blazing.
Yep.
It's gonna be like a machine gun.
We need that.
That's what it's gonna have to be. Given the very little time that we have left. Okay. Next part. It's looking like.
Okay. Hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in to Keeping It Real Show, Reconcilers Radio. So this is the Keeping It Real Show, Reconcilers Radio. I am joined today by CEO Money Mike. And just before the break, he was going to go through a few points about how to create wealth and how to invest. So I'll just basically go through a few advertisements, just one or two, and then I'll leave it over to him. So on Saturday, November the 11th, 2017, the OFNC Women in Business and Leadership Conference, so OFNC and Women in Business and Leadership Conference, and that is happening on Saturday, November 11, 2017 from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. So this program will take place in Clayton Hotel, City Walk, Sweet Street, Leeds, LS119AT, and it's for innovative entrepreneurs, for women in business and leadership. So if you are a woman who wants to be involved in business and leadership, please feel free to attend this program. It'll be really, really powerful. And then also on Saturday the 7th of October, there is a program called Using Your Loss as Gain, and that is happening in Crown Plaza, Newcastle, and it's from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Crown Plaza, Newcastle, and that is Saturday 7th October, Using Your Loss as Gain. And also keynote speaker is Clementina Emmanuel, and obviously the scripture behind this is Philippians 3 verses 8. Okay. And then lastly, there's BSG Conference 2017, which we're still waiting for the date to come through actually, and there's networking opportunities available for that day. So when the details come out, I'll be able to talk more about it. Okay, I'll leave it over to you, CEO.
Do you know those advertisements, particularly the first one? So the women in business and leadership, something like that is very important. So when you surround yourself, as I said before, with certain people, you'll come to hear of certain opportunities and you get certain ideas that you wouldn't have got if you had stayed at home or if you had just gone out with friends. So you have to make sure that you're placing yourself in the right places. So I'd say definitely, if you are a female and you are interested in starting your own business, or you've got a business, something like that is great to attend. Yeah,
lovely.
Okay, cool. So now we're on to the wealth creation part. Yeah, okay, so we're on to the wealth creation part, but before I start with that, I'll say for a lot of you, the problem isn't that you need to make more money. The problem is that you need to better manage the money that you've got. So when you're asking yourself, how is it that I make more money? That's the wrong question. It's how is it that I have more money? Because there are two sides to the coin. You've got the income and you've got the expenses. So that's very important. Now, on the issue of, or should I say the topic of making money, the first thing that I'm going to say is that a lot of you don't want to make the money that bad enough. That's the first thing that I'll say. Because constantly people are fed opportunities, but they don't take it. And so do you know what it's that people want? People just want money to land on their lap. That's it. They just want money to land on their lap without them putting any time into it, money into it, or effort into it. And that's not going to happen. The only way that's going to happen is if you play the lottery. And even the lottery, you got to put money into it to win it. Wow. And then the amount of risk that goes into playing the lottery, to be honest, you're not going to win it. That's how it's going to work out. So you have to firstly accept that to make money, you're going to have to give something up, whether it's time, money, effort, or actually be risk-taking. So that's the first thing I'll say. You got to want it bad enough. And the two things that will stop people is like laziness, but also fear. You've got to sometimes, yeah, it might be risky, but the biggest risk sometimes is not actually going ahead with it. So with certain opportunities out there, you just have to run with it and make it work. And if anything, look, I'm going to ask you, Amanda, to actually finish up my sentence. You either win or you
lose.
Oh, we changed that. We're going to change it to
what?
You either win or you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so we're going to do a game. So you either win or you
learn.
Learning can be fun. Yeah.
Learn.
So you either win or you learn.
Exciting.
Because what's going to happen is that as you run with different opportunities, you're learning, and then after.
Hey, see your money might watches money. Go on.
And then after, through learning, that's the thing. If you look at successful people out there, they have made so many mistakes in the past. They've had so many failures to get to where they've got to. Yeah.
Wow.
Some of you may have heard it. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. some of you, you're not taking shots. That's what it is. Some of you, you're not taking shots. So you miss 100% of the shots they don't take. Also, if you look at Michael Jordan's basketball statistics, look at how many times he's missed versus how many times he scored.
Wow.
You will
And
see
he
that
still
there are
managed to
many
be a
failures in
champion.
there. Exactly. Failure is just a part of the process. But I'll say, look, don't fear anything. If anything, we say only fear the Lord your God. But don't fear anything.
Wow.
And then the other thing that actually stops people from actually making money as well is because they're not set up in a way to actually make money. So for example, I actually offer some people some opportunities to actually make money, but they're not set up to. For example, they've got like a bad credit rating. So again, the platform is something which helps you to have a better credit rating, but you need to make sure that you are set up for success. So that means having certain like money there. So some of you, you're not saving, which means that opportunity comes, you need the money, you can't. Actually, the other day, I was actually quite caught up. An investment came my way, which I wanted to put in a lot of money into, but my money was tied up in another investment.
Wow.
So I couldn't take advantage of that investment. So, and this will happen to many people. So you need to make sure that you are set up in a way to take advantage of opportunities. Now, when we talk about making more money, of course, there are a few common sense ways to make money. But of course, common sense isn't always common. Yeah. So what we come to find is that with a lot of things that we say.
So just got a comment from Mabel, who said, from all the way from Milton Keynes, an amazing show. That's exactly what she needed. And she just had to open up a graduate account. But you're going, sorry.
Fantastic. And yeah, if you plan this stuff, I personally know that you'll be financially successful.
Lovely. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. The Keeping It Real Show, Reconcilers Radio. The show has ended, but tune in again next week, Wednesday, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We'll continue on Facebook Live, and obviously
Facebook Live. Okay, on Facebook Live. That's cool.
Okay, so go back to Facebook Live now. Put this away.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what I'll say is, when it comes to, I'm so happy we're still here. So what we find is that common knowledge is not always common practice. Yeah. So there are certain things that you know, but you're just not doing it. So for example, on a very simple level, when we talk about some of you who are in employment, okay, one of the ways which you can make more money is to just get more hours. I know not everyone can do that. Some people can. And for example, if someone works, for example, 35 hours a week, why not just work an extra 5 hours and use that money to start investing and to start making money from it?
Trust me,
yeah,
people have tried to.
Yeah, that's just one. It's not for everyone. For some people, I'll say for 15% to 20% of people who are listening now, that's one thing that they can do. But everyone doesn't want to do that. Yeah, the same thing as getting a second job. Yeah, again, that's another way to make more money. But not everyone wants to do that. So if we're talking about making money through employment, going back to the education account, you have to become more valuable. That's what you're going to have to do. So
educate yourself.
Educate yourself so that you can actually go out there and get that pay rise. So for example, I one of my business partners, she's a career coach. So she helps people to get promotions. She helps people to get pay rises. And there's a way to go about it. The problem is that one, people don't know how to go about it. The second problem is that even if they do know, they're not going to take the action to actually go. They're going about it. They're not going to do it. So, like, and this is why sometimes, yeah, it's a case where a lot of women do earn less than men, but that's because if you look at the statistics, it said that men are actually more proactive in actually asking for that pay rise. There's a reason why. Look at the action. There are clues in the action.
But sometimes, in order to, when you're going to educate yourself, you might actually lose money. You might have to go back down.
Yeah, it's an investment.
Come back. Yeah, you might have to invest and lose a bit more money just to spend time studying and working, a different job or whatever, part-time.
So what you're asking yourself is, how do I, for example, spend, or should I say invest £1,000 into myself to make an extra £5,000 every year?
Wow.
That's the conversation that you're having. It's the return on investment conversation. So you need to be investing in yourself, but there are ways to get that pay rise, especially if you feel that like you're actually worth more. You need to communicate that, and if you are able to show that you are, then there is a way for you to get that. But some people are actually quite strategic about it. So I know someone who actually they actually just outrightly went to their employees and said, look, at the moment you've got me on £120 a day. I want you to take it up to 200.
Wow.
Or I'm leaving.
Wow.
Yeah, but if I know, do you know what? It actually was 120. They were on £90 a day. They said take it up to £200 or I'm leaving. And in the end, they agreed on £120. But that person's now getting paid an extra £30 a day.
Wow.
So that's just
still,
one example.
That's a massive difference still.
Yeah. So there are ways
A day.
out there, but it's all about us actually understanding where are you and what is it that you can do. But there are also opportunities out there to make money as well. Now on this one, like I ask people all the time, what is the easiest £500 that you can make right now? The easiest £500. The things that people tell me, and I can give them 24 hours, 48 hours, a week to think about the easiest £500 that they can make. What they come back to me with is like, that's not easy. That takes time, or that takes money, or that takes risk. If you want to know the easiest £500 you can make right now, I'll say go to the Wealth Etiquette Facebook page, and it's been pinned to the top. There is a video on the easiest £500 you can make right now. I made £600 from it, and I know a number of people that have started making money from it as well. So every year you can make £500 from it.
Yeah, but you know the question is obviously, like I think going back to Blessing's question about obviously even learning from scratch how to save effectively.
How to save?
Effectively, like obviously you gave us so so obviously you spoke a lot as well about what do you call it, our attitude or our character, what is it called, discipline.
Yeah,
and I think it all goes back to that.
Yeah. So again, everything that I've said, for example, the people who you surround yourself with, we haven't even spoken about goal setting. That's another. I don't even tell people to set financial goals. There's something that's more powerful than setting financial goals. But when you've got that wealth focus and you know what it is that you want, you will naturally make certain sacrifices in certain areas to have the future gains that you need. That's what it is. Again, surrounding yourself with certain people as well. That itself will help. Having financial accountability. Now, who's it that can hold you to account? You can have a family member, you can have a partner. When I say partner, it could be your significant other, it can be it could be your business partner. You can have a wealth coach. You need accountability. The best accountability is public accountability. But public accountability. For example, if you go and you tell the whole world that I'm going to start a business on this day. Now the world's going to hold you to account. So basically, people have seen it. People will ask you. So then you know that you need to get in place because you've told everyone that you're going to do it. So there's public accountability, saying it in groups and so forth. So that was very, very, very powerful.
Well, Alex Golden says declare it. and we had different messages from so many people. We're so sorry that obviously we're not able to read out all the messages, but we read some. Babatinde Baja, who said good job Amanda, and he said good job CEO Money back Mike, and Greg Angola said Al Qaeda. That's probably when we're dancing. And Haley Barnes said wow, voice of an angel. Thank you, Haley. Blessing said you scared me there. Obviously, I'm just reading this through. Well, hey, I need to learn. And Babatunde said, do you encourage people to take up insurance in areas of emergency?
To take out insurance? Yeah.
In areas of emergency.
Yeah. So okay. So it depends.
What
on
insurance would you say we should take?
So
they call you nowadays. They're like funeral, death insurance. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah. So with insurance, again, it's not for everyone. It depends on your circumstances, your situation, but there is a lot of value in having certain types of insurance. So, for example, if you're, for example, the type of person who loses their phone on, like for example, in the last year, you've lost 2 phones. Okay, it makes sense that phone insurance. Now, if you are also the type of person who, like, if, for example, we talk about life insurance, if you've got dependents and you want to make sure, look, God forbid anything happens, they are essentially covered so that the mortgage is paid and that there's a regular income coming in. Okay, life insurance makes sense. Some people, it's income protection or critical illness. You have to look at the insurance and ask yourself, what is it that they can actually do for you? But it's not for everyone. But you never know what's going to happen. So some people, yeah, it doesn't make sense for you to have the insurance or as much sense. But for a lot of people, they really need to get that insurance in place.
Wow.
They really need to get in place.
And we had a message from Blessing Theophilus Israel who said, very informative CEO, how do we get access to the online platform?
So the online platform. So that's the thing. If what I would say is that anyone that's interested in the platform, anyone who because the platform has a lot, I'd say this is what you need to do, and I'm not sure whether it's actually showing it to you the right way, but if you text, so RRAS, which is Rico Silas Radio Amanda Show, to this number, I will give you more information about the platform, and I'll also send you a discount code as well.
He said flip it around. He said flip it around.
Do you know what? You want it that way. Do you know what? It's the camera. Do you know what? I know what it is. It's if I do this. Now you're looking at my laser. Okay, there we go. If you text or WhatsApp RRAS to this number here, I'll be able to give you more information about the platform, and I'll also be able to give you the discount code. Yeah, so that you don't have to pay £30 a month. I'll give you a massive, it works out to be a massive discount. It works out to be a no-brainer. But take that number down, text or WhatsApp RRAS, and you will receive more information.
Wow.
I'll tell you about a few things that are actually on that platform before I get back to how is it that you can make more money. But can I quickly share that?
Okay, yes.
Okay, so on the platform, what it covers is financial goal setting. But as I said, I don't tell people to set financial goals. There are two things which are more powerful than financial goals. It's on the platform. It's also got financial statements. Yeah, you need to be using an income statement, a budget statement, and a net worth statement. Net worth statement, people, they don't even know about it, but it's very, very, very powerful. For a lot of people, it's actually more powerful than an income statement. So you need to make sure that you know what a net worth statement is, and then you start using it. Again, it's on the platform, and there's actually something that's on the platform that nobody has access to, and it's called an income allocation statement, and that is in line with your accounts. Very powerful. You can't get it from anywhere else. Also, it covers debt management. It covers credit ratings. Yeah, so you can come to find out your credit score for free. Go to Experian, ClearScore. They will tell you your credit rating for free. But you need to know how is it that you actually improve your credit rating, because having a strong, better credit rating can save you a lot of money. I'm not going to go too into it. Financial protection, retirement planning, estate planning, financial accountability. A lot of you don't know that the next recession is actually around the corner. Yeah, this recession, some people, it will break you. For other people, it will make you. So you need to understand how it is that you prepare for a recession. How is it that you survive and thrive in a recession as well? So again, information on becoming recession proof is going to go onto the platform at the beginning of next month. So you definitely want to be around for that. There's also where you can get further financial education and actually how to create a financial plan and what should be in your financial plan. So there's a lot of finance stuff there on that platform.
Wow.
So, but again,
number 2. So you can text this text WAPP RRAS.
Yeah, which is Rico Silence Radio Amanda Show.
Yes.
So text or WhatsApp RRAS to 0774 900 6900. That's the business line. That is 0774 900 6900. I feel like you know.
Why?
I feel like I'm on a radio. like the way I was reading out the number.
You are already, yeah. So yeah, thank you all for all those who commented, who've joined us, who've sent messages. I know I've not been able to read everything, but I feel like I've read most of it. Thank you, Sei Aitayo. Thank you, Babatunde Baja. Thank you, Blessing Ashani Adiyemi. Thank you, Joseph Amoa. Thank you, Blessing Theophilus Williams. Thank you, Princewa Omoba. Thank you, Igle Valekaite. Thank you, Awin Imba, Alex Gordon.
Names.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Greg Langola as well, Ben Marshall, Asha Rasta Elliott, and Marie Shakur.
Love names.
Yes, so thank you all so much for all the messages that you've sent and also all your contributions towards the show. I'm sure CEO will be able to join us again, hopefully in the future, because it feels like on the side of the radio we're not able to speak. We've not been able to give all the tips. So hopefully we'll be able to join us more in the future again, and now also obviously start applying the things that he's saying. And then I'll let you know how it goes. And you guys also visit the page. So it's Wealth Etiquette.
WealthEtiquette.com.
WealthEtiquette.com.
But also on the Facebook page, if you type in Wealth Etiquette, at the top there's been a video that's been posted. It's been pinned to the top. That will tell you the easiest £500 that you can make today. People are doing it. You can do it as well. Are you looking to wrap it up?
Oh, you keep on.
Okay, so what I was just going to say, other things is, like for example, with one of the wealth workshops which I ran a couple of months ago, one of the things I told people that they can do is, look, if you go around your house or your apartment, you will come to find that there are items which you don't use, which you don't need, and that you can actually sell. Why leave it there to depreciate? Sell it and use that money and put it towards your bad debts. That itself is just going to start saving you money. Also, if you don't have the bad debts, put into your emergency fund. Again, your emergency fund is going to save you money. If you've already got that covered, then from what you sell because you don't need it, put that money into an investment and let it make you money. So that's another thing. It's not necessarily creating wealth, because all you're doing is you are changing the form of an asset that you've got into a cash form. That's all it is. But it's one of the things which you should definitely do. So that's what we call selling old or unused items. Another thing is government money. So I'm very confident that there have been people who have come onto this show today, and that there are people who are still on, that they can possibly receive money from the government, whether it's tax credits or like job seekers, or for some people in business it's actually they've got something called ESA, so it's an enterprise allowance scheme. It's something on those lines, but you can get money from that way from there as well. So the point I'm trying to make is that there is money around you and there's money available for you to take claim, whatever you want to call it. And I've mentioned investments. At the moment, the investments that I do are more investments by the ear. So it's more private investments. I know that there are other people who make money through trading, through property and so forth. You have to get these things right, but you can make money from it. But they do work out to be investments. But there are different types of investments out there. Again, as I said, for me personally, I invest in other people's businesses, and I also, that's probably the main thing that I do right now. But you need to find the investments that are right for you, and it's through, for example, going to networking events and having money conversations with people that you can come to find out. The last one is business. Now, not only am I a financial educator, I'm a business consultant. So I'm actually a business acceleration consultant. So it's how is it that you get to where you want to be in not even half the time, but 5 times quicker. Now, business itself is one of the great ways to make money. For a lot of people, you just have to get it right. Now, with what we do is we make sure that you get your sales strategy right, you get your sales process right, you get your sales pitch right, and you get your sales attitude right. So I work with a team of business consultants. We run workshops for businesses. We've got webinars for the clients. We run other workshops for them, and we've got like weekly courses. But whatever it is, there are people who are making good money in business, and there is a way to go about it. So I personally encourage all of you to think about, look, what business is it that you can have? Your business, you don't have to do it full time. Your business, you don't even have to do it part time. You can do it spare time. So to be honest, there's no excuse out there. A lot of you are talented, you've got gifts. If you don't feel that you've got a talent, if you don't feel that you've got a gift, you know what? We're human, we can learn. You can learn how to do something so that you can add value to other people, and in return be paid for that. So business is one of the great ways to make money. Again, I know we don't have a lot of time, but
I'm sure you join
on
us
the
again.
platform as well, there's from next month, because at the moment we're in the process of putting all of that content on. From next month, there's going to be a lot of advice for businesses as well that's going to be on the platform.
Wow.
But anyone can succeed in business. It's nothing about it. You just need the right idea. But when I say the right idea, not in a way where there are very limited ideas, but get the right idea, approach the right market, and you will get sales.
Wow.
So, but business is key. But you can make money through your employment, and you can make more money, as I've said, through different opportunities out there. Go onto the Facebook page, selling old unused items. You can get money from the government, investments, business. Like, the world is your oyster.
I know.
But the problem that we've got now is that people, they've heard this, and then they're going to go away and they're going to do nothing about it. You need to start exploring these different ways and start taking action, because it's the application.
Yeah.
The application.
And that's really, everything you said has really made me think, obviously, about in terms of not just work.
We're going to talk.
Yeah. But thank you so much for those who joined us today, all those who sent messages, all those who liked and shared this video. Please continue to share this video, and hopefully CEO will be able to join us again in the future to go more in detail. I felt like we touched obviously bits and pieces of a topic. There was loads of questions, and so it was all in between. So
do you know what one topic that would be really good for them is the becoming recession proof?
Okay.
That one would be really good for them.
Okay. Lovely. Yeah, we should have you on that.
Because the recession, the last one, some people finish them. People, they lose their house, they lose their homes, they lose their jobs.
Yeah.
A recession can change your life, so why not prepare for it?
And also, even in terms of everything that you spoke about, like, if you're not working, have you got money to last you? Some people have money to last them for a year, or 2 years, or 3 years.
Some people 10.
Yeah, 10 years. And it's like, you think about, obviously, as a young person, how much are you really saving? And fine, you haven't got kids or anything, but how much are you really saving? And how much are you planning ahead for the future? Because, like what you said, anything can happen at any point in time. And yes, you pray for protection, God to protect you, God protect you, but it's also giving us wisdom. And like you said, it's giving us the spirit of self-control to control what we have around us, and also how we manage the things around us. So, I've really learned a lot as well. So I have a message from Jennifer. Hello, sis. Jennifer says, God bless you. I enjoyed every bit of the show. God bless you too, sis. And thank you for all those who tune in. Any last words?
Any last words? So I'll say the application of financial education is the most profitable execution. Let me say that again. The application, so actually taking action, the application of financial education, the knowledge, is the most profitable execution. So don't just focus on getting the knowledge. Today you want to take action. Today, right now, you want to come up with a plan of what you're going to do to get the right knowledge and to start taking these actions to get that pay rise or to start a business, whatever it is. You need to come up with that plan. And what I say that's very good is if you can find someone to share it with them, not only so that you can get feedback, so that they can hold you to account. That's what I would say to wrap it up.
Oh, so thank you for all those who tuned in. All those who tuned in, all those who've sent in questions. I've been truly blessed, obviously, from listening to you, CEO, and definitely you'll be joining us again on the show to talk about
fantastic
the next stage. So thank you all for tuning in. Have a blessed evening, and tune in again next week Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. where I believe we'll be joined by another special guest. So just check out on Facebook and for any advertisement that's coming up, and also check out for this space soon. All right then. Okay. Bye.